This edition of Call of the Wild is being brought to you by Denny Hecker's Hudson Pontiac GMC and by La Cucaracha in Woodbury. He was the first Wild player to be nominated for a season-ending honor when he was named a finalist for the Frank J. Selke Trophy given to the NHL's best defensive forward. Wild center Wes Walsh joins us on Call of the Wild. Later, we'll tell you how to get involved in the NHL All-Star Experience this February. Stay tuned. Call of the Wild will begin in a moment.
The hottest spot in Woodbury is La Cucaracha. You will find authentic Mexican food, award-winning guacamole, weekday happy hour with free appetizers. For great food and great fun and mariachis on the weekend, come to La Cucaracha in Woodbury, 494 and Valley Creek Road. La Cucaracha sounds good to me and tastes good to you.
Catch Home Furniture's super no-interest financing offer just in time for this year's big game. Choose your new upholstered or leather pieces and pay no interest till 2006. That's 2 whole years. And what prices? This Benchcraft sofa just $5.99, or a chaise sofa and chair set now just $12.99. Leather room groups start at just $19.99, or stretch out in comfort on a recliner or sectional. Great furniture values now at Home Furniture. Ends Wednesday.
Need a place to go wild? Well, wait until February when the NHL All-Star Fantasy skates into town. You can celebrate the 54th NHL All-Star Game with 5 days of fun and excitement. Touch the Stanley Cup, test your skills at hockey attractions, catch live entertainment, meet great NHL stars, and much more. Don't miss all the action at the world's largest hockey theme park, February 3rd through February 7th. It's the place to be. Tickets on sale now at all Ticketmaster locations and online at Ticketmaster.com.
Hi, I'm Brian Bozen.
I'm Craig Weitzel
From Noble Parkway Mobile,
your local Napa Auto Care Center.
Noble Parkway Mobile knows you rely heavily on your car. That's why we take great pride in doing the job right and depend on Cotton's Napa for quality brand parts. Cotton's Napa provides quality parts at a competitive price. Their ASE certified staff is knowledgeable and easy to work with. Napa Auto Care Centers stand behind their work with a peace of mind warranty, 12 months or 12,000 miles. For parts, depend on Cotton's Napa. For repairs, visit Noble Parkway Mobile's Napa Auto Care Center.
Welcome to Call of the Wild. We are live from La Cucarachas in Woodbury. Our special guest tonight is Wes Walsh, number 37 of the Minnesota Wild. Welcome, Wes.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. First question everybody wants to know, and you're probably tired of answering it. How's that shoulder doing? Everybody saw you take that hit the other night, and how is it?
Yeah, it's not too bad, actually. When I first got hit, I wasn't sure exactly where I was. I got winded so bad I had a difficult time getting to the bench. But once I got back to the bench, I realized that my shoulder was pretty sore, and I was just hoping that it wasn't separated or anything like that. So I think it just kind of slipped in and out real quick, and I sprained my AC joint a little bit, and so it's gonna take some time just to. Hopefully, I can miss a couple games and try to get back in there maybe Monday night. That's kind of what I'm shooting for, but we're just going to be playing it day by day.
Let's talk about the physical play that you have to deal with every night you guys step on the ice. I mean, this is not a league for babies, is it?
No, it's not, and you know, I was sure to tell my wife that, you know, like she wasn't very happy with Keith Tkachuk, but I said, hey, listen, we're not playing cribbage or tiddlywinks or anything like that, so that's part of the game. To be honest with you, I was more disappointed in myself to get hit that hard. Usually I'm pretty good for knowing where everybody is on the ice, and he had actually broken his stick and went back to the bench to get a new stick, and I had lost track of him. I didn't think there was anybody on that side of the rink, and that's kind of what happened. So, but hey, it's part of the game, and as far as I felt, I mean, when he hit me, it felt like a clean check. It just it might have been a hair late, but hey, once you get somebody in a vulnerable position, sometimes there's guys in the league that'll do that.
This team has been kind of streaky this year. We're at the midway point already, believe it or not, but you had a nice winning streak going for a while. Then you had a run of ties that was hard to figure out. I mean, what goes on in the clubhouse when you keep getting ties after tie after tie?
Well, we were talking about it before the streak started, and we were going for the streak. We wanted as many ties as we could possibly get. And I think the league's I don't know, I think the league record's like 5 or 6, so we took a pretty good run at it. No, to make a long story short, I mean, we've been a little more streaky this year than we have in the past. I'm not sure exactly why that is. we haven't played quite as consistent as we would have liked to start the season, but like you had mentioned, we're halfway there, and we still have halfway to go, and hopefully we can get a little more consistent. If we can continue to get good goaltending, we're going to be right there at the end.
Last year, you were honored in the postseason as one of the top defensive forwards in the National Hockey League. Tell us what that means to you.
Well, considering my career, and I don't want to bore everybody with all the details of my long career, but
that's why they're here.
It's been a long up and down battle throughout my career. You know, the first 6-8 years of my career, you know, I was up and down in the NHL, playing in the minors, up and down all the time. Then I decided to go over to Europe for 4 years, and then getting an opportunity to come back here and play in the National Hockey League and get nominated to win one of the major awards has been, I mean, my career has gone almost full circle, and you know, I was sitting at the awards banquet last year, and I'll never forget, you know, I was just so happy to be there. I was, you know, Martin Brodeur and Mike Modano and Peter Forsberg and all these guys. I'm serving them drinks. What do you guys want to drink? But anyway, some of these guys are real nice guys and friendly guys, and it was just an honor for me to be there. And when I wasn't awarded the Selke Trophy, I had to admit I was sitting there with my son, and I was a little ticked off, to be honest with you. I felt I wanted it to, maybe a little worse than I thought when they didn't announce my name. It kind of gave me a funny feeling. So you know, I told my son that I had something to shoot for next year, which is this year, and hopefully I can get back there.
Great. We got to take a break. We'll come back. Things will get tough, though. We're going to hear some questions from some of your fans. So
I'm ready for them.
We're ready? All right. Wes Walls is here. We're live at La Cucarachas in Woodbury. This is Call of the Wild.
Nice car. Thanks, you too. Can I ask what you're paying?
I finance through my bank for $518 a month.
That high? Oh, you should have called City and County Credit Union.
City and County Credit Union finances 1997 to 2003 vehicles for as low as 3.75% APR. They have great rates on home loans, too. Any resident of Ramsey, Washington, or Northern Dakota County can join. Enjoy everything a bank offers, but with better rates. City and County Credit Union. Better than a bank.
Everything outdoors is here at Joe's. Come and get your money's worth. It's all at Joe's, your outdoor experts.
This hunting and fishing season, check out Joe's new store in Little Canada. Joe's features a complete line of outdoor supplies, including a great selection of apparel, along with the latest hunting and fishing equipment. Joe's, your hunting and fishing headquarters, located just off Highway 36 and Rice Street in Little Canada.
This is only a fest, a rib fest from Damon's Grill. For the next 30 seconds, you'll see mouth-watering ribs on Damon's Grill. Should this fest become an actual hunger emergency, go immediately to the nearest Damon's Grill and choose your favorite sauce from our incredible Rib Fest menu. With ribs and wings starting at only $9.99. Choose new roasted chipotle or new Caribbean jerk barbecue sauce. Hurry into Rib Fest, starting at only $9.99. Available for a limited time at Damon's Grill. We now conclude this fest.
The hottest spot in Woodbury is La Cucaracha. You will find authentic Mexican food, award-winning guacamole, weekday happy hour with free appetizers. For great food and great fun and mariachis on the weekend, come to La Cucaracha in Woodbury, 494 and Valley Creek Road. La Cucaracha sounds good to me and tastes good to you.
For only the third time in the history of the NHL All-Star Weekend, the National Hockey League will open up the All-Star Player Practice for local fans to benefit worthy causes. The 2004 Kellogg's Frosted Flakes NHL All-Star Practice will feature all of the All-Stars and coaches in preparation for the 54th NHL All-Star Game, which will be hosted by the Twin Cities and the Minnesota Wild. The practice will be held at XL Energy Center, home of the Wild, on Saturday, February 7th from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Fans attending the event will have the opportunity to meet Tony the Tiger and receive free Kellogg's products and NHL-themed giveaways courtesy of the Kellogg's Company. The All-Stars will treat the fans to a display of hockey drills and pose for their team photos. The open practice is an exciting event designed to involve fans in the All-Star experience. Tickets are on sale now and may be purchased through Ticketmaster outlets or by visiting the XL Energy Center Center box office. Cost of an adult ticket is $15 and a child ticket is $11. A portion of the proceeds will benefit the Goals and Dreams Fund and the St. Paul Winter Carnival.
Road closed. Now I'll never get my degree.
Sure you will. You just need the right direction and the right tools. At Minnesota School of Business and Globe College, we've got the right tools and a dedicated staff of professionals who will give you the direction you need. We're close by. Call 651-229-5900 or visit us on the web to learn where you can go next. At Minnesota School of Business and Globe College, we teach success.
Dad, what is this music?
Rule number 1, driver picks the music.
Those of you who don't want to spend a fortune on new tires have two choices. You can settle for less or demand more.
It's your car. You should drive.
What? Thanks, Dad.
Can we listen to something else?
At CarX in West St. Paul.
Jersey's Bar and Grill, now open till 2 a.m. on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Every Thursday through Sunday, enjoy the best live music in the Twin Cities, a huge sound system, and a great light show. Every Friday night is 93X Night with Jesse and the X-Girls from 10 to midnight, plus dollar beers from 8 to 10. Stop by for lunch or dinner. Try our great burgers, barbecue ribs, steaks, and sandwiches. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 4 to 6. There's always something happening at Jersey's in Inver Grove Heights. Check out our website, jerseysbar.com. Jersey's, now open till 2 a.m.
Welcome back on Call of the Wild. We're live with Wes Walls from La Cucarachas in Woodbury, and they're lined up. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right. Hi, you're up first. What's your name?
Alyssa.
Alyssa, where are you from?
Oakdale, Minnesota.
All right. What's your question for Wes?
If you weren't playing hockey, what would you be doing?
All right.
Oh, good question. If I wasn't playing hockey, that's a scary thought, actually, and I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. But my wife reminds me from time to time that I should be thinking about it. But I think if I wasn't playing hockey, one of the things that I've always taken an interest in is being a fireman. I had a lot of uncles and different people in my family that were firefighters growing up back in Calgary in Canada, where I grew up. And it was always it's sort of like teamwork too when you're a firefighter. You have other firefighters that are at the fire hall with you in case a fire breaks out. So it's a little bit like hockey. You know, you have a team of firefighters, you have a team of hockey players. So I've always wanted to be a firefighter.
Very good. And if you're a firefighter, Keith Kachuk won't come across the street and hit you when you put out a fire, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Got that going for you. So. All right, thanks for stopping by. You're next. Step right up. What's your name?
Mark from Hastings.
All right, Mark, what's your question?
What do you think is better, a high or a low shot?
A high or low shot? It all depends. It all depends. In our league, every goalie's different. Some goalies take high shots easier. Some goalies are better against low shots. So before every game, we always talk in the dressing room as to what this goalie does best, whether we should shoot high or shoot low. So if I do get a scoring chance in a game, then I've already thought about it in my mind what I'm going to do. So I'm already thinking, okay, we talked about this before the game. If I get a chance to shoot, I'm going to shoot high. So it automatically clicks into my brain when I do get a scoring chance that I'm going to shoot high. But to be honest with you, with young kids that shoot the puck, when I travel around, I watch some kids shooting, you know, on the outdoor ice or with their teams. I see a lot of kids trying to shoot the puck high, try to shoot the puck high all the time. I've always said that it's more important to shoot the puck hard than it is to shoot it high. But you know what? I was doing the same thing when I was your age. I wouldn't worry too much about it. The puck making the sound in that glass is pretty neat too.
Thanks for stopping by. All right. There you go. Now you're set. What's your name?
Seth.
All right, what's your question for Wes?
What kind of skate do you wear?
What kind of skates do I wear? Right now? I wear CCM skates, and they're called Vacutax, and they started making this skate probably 10, 12 years ago. They don't even make them anymore, to be honest with you. They make them special just for me. I know some of the guys at CCM, so if you ever want any CCM skates, I know a couple people I could talk to get you skates, but they make them special for me, and they would really like to try to get me into a more modern skate, so they wouldn't have to have the people back at the plant move away from their whatever they do and make me special skates, but that's just the way it's got to be.
All right.
Good question.
Thanks for stopping by. Hey, you're next. What's your name?
Ben.
Hey, Ben, what's your question?
Who's the hardest guy you ever got checked by?
Ooh. Well, I have been hit pretty hard before. I can honestly say that when I first come into the NHL, I played with the Boston Bruins, and I got hit by a guy named Rob Ray. He played for the Buffalo Sabres. This is when I was 20 years old, and this is when I was about Marion Gabourik's age, Bouchard's age. I was really young, and I got hit back then, and I got knocked out, and I didn't know where I was completely. I know some of the people in here might have saw the hit there the other night. I was completely conscious of where I was. I just couldn't get up because I couldn't breathe. But I knew exactly where I was and that I had got hit. So to answer your question, probably the hardest I've ever been hit was not the other night. It was probably about 13, 14 years ago.
All right. Thanks for stopping by.
And I've never recovered.
Some things just have to change, right? Hi, what's your name?
Kayla, and I'm from Oakdale. And my question is, have you ever lost or won a fight, and how did you feel?
Well, I don't fight a lot, to be honest with you, and you know, growing up in the junior ranks where I played junior hockey, fighting was more prevalent. Even some of the scorers had to fight a little bit, but no, you know what? I've probably been beat up more than I've beat other guys up. That's the honest truth. I'm out there to score goals and skate around, and but you know, we leave the fighting for the Matt Johnsons, Alex Henrys, the Brad Bounds, guys like that. You know what? That's too hard for me. I like my hands too much. So, but anyway, that's a good question.
Good. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Hi. What's your name?
Rachel from Minoka, and my question is, what beef does Keith Tkachuk have with you? Because he's always fighting with you.
Yeah. What's his deal?
I don't know what his deal is. Yeah. I think it's just. Well, we had an incident last year where I was behind the net, and I had hit Pavel Demitra behind the net really hard, and I think it was maybe 5-7 seconds later, he come in and gave me a cross-check, and I was just lucky enough to turn my head at the last minute, and I don't know if you remember, but he got suspended for 4 games. And and then this incident that happened here about a week or so ago, I'm not sure. I think it was just an ironic thing. I don't think he has anything out for me. And to be honest with you, I actually know him a little bit. I've said hi to him a few times, and I know him a little bit. So he's just one of those guys that plays really hard. He's a little bit dirty. And you know what? We've got to, if it would have been one of our guys hit one of their guys, it would have been a clean hit. But because it was one of their guys hitting me, it was a dirty hit. So that's kind of the way. That's kind of the way it goes. So
it's very true. It's very true. Thanks for stopping by.
I'm Justice. I'm from White Bear Lake, Minnesota. And what team would you play for besides the Wild?
Well, that's a good question. I don't really. I don't picture myself playing for any other team except for the Minnesota Wild. I mean, I've been so blessed and so fortunate to have been given an opportunity here to play for the Minnesota Wild that my loyalty runs pretty deep here with the Minnesota Wild. But so I personally, Justice, I don't feel myself playing for any other team.
Very good. Good answer. Now, but you grew up a Calgary fan, right?
I grew up a Calgary fan.
If there's any allegiance somewhere in the way back, it might be Calgary.
Well, I did that already once, and I don't know.
This is enough?
Yeah.
Hi, what's your name?
Ryan, I'm from Maplewood, Minnesota. I wanted to let you know that your daughter's on my hockey team.
Oh, really? You taking good care of her?
And what was the first team that you played?
The first team that I ever played against in the NHL was the Vancouver Canucks when I had just turned 20 years old. And when you're a young kid, when I was back your age, I always dreamed of playing in the NHL. And I'll never ever forget that day when I played my first game in the NHL. I remember all the bright lights and everything, and I was thinking to myself, I finally made it. But, you know, more importantly is it's great that I played a game in the NHL. It's very difficult to get to the NHL, but it's even more difficult to stay in the NHL, and that's what I've found as I've gotten older.
All right, thanks for stopping by. Hi, what's your name?
Ryan.
Okay, Ryan, what's your question for Wes?
What is your favorite opponent?
What's my favorite opponent to play? Oh, I like playing the Vancouver Canucks. For whatever reason, I think the Naslund, Bertuzzi, and Morrison line is probably one of the best lines in the NHL and most difficult to play against. And for whatever reason, I don't have a very difficult time getting up for playing those guys. I always seem to play pretty well against Vancouver. Even better back in their rink for whatever reason, but the Vancouver Canucks, and that's where I played my first ever NHL game, by the way. I don't even know if I mentioned that last question, but the Vancouver Canucks, that's where I played my first NHL game, and that's the team that I enjoy playing against the most right now.
Okay. Because normally people don't know it, you're going to be put up against their top line and probably their top center, so you're seeing the best every night.
For the most part, yeah.
Good. Hi, what's your name?
Mark. And who was your favorite hockey player growing up?
My favorite hockey player growing up was a man by the name of Lanny McDonald, and the reason he was one of my favorite players was had nothing to do with hockey. It had to do with that he went to school with my mom.
It wasn't the big red mustache either, wasn't that?
You know, it wasn't the mustache either. And I ended up meeting Lanny years later, and he still remembers my mother. And it's funny. It's funny how it's a small world. But Lanny McDonald, and I remember when I was your age, I sent him a letter. I wrote him a letter telling him that he went to school with my mother, and could you please sign an autographed picture and send it back for me? Well, a month later, I got one back in the mail, and I still have it at my mom and dad's house. So it's pretty neat.
Very nice. Good. Thanks for stopping by. Hi, what's your name?
Hank.
Hey, Hank.
How much goals have you scored this year?
I've got 9 this year, but who's counting, eh? No. My job is not to score many goals. We leave that for all the goal scorers, but I'm doing okay so far this year.
9's a good number. All right, thanks for stopping by. I got time for just a couple more questions. Step right up. What's your name?
Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
Who's your favorite person to spend time with on the Wild?
Oh, that's a pretty good question. You know, when we're back in Minnesota and we're playing a lot of home games, we don't spend a lot of time with each other other than when we see each other at the rink. I'm usually spending time with my family or whatever, as all the other players are. But when we get out on the road, my roommate over the last couple of years has been Richard Park, but for whatever reason they changed the roommates around here about 2 weeks or so ago, and I have Andrew Burnett as my roommate right now. So I spend a little bit more time probably with Andrew than I do any other guy. But to be honest with you, we don't have a lot of cliques where 5 guys go off and eat here, 5 guys go off and eat here when we go on the road. We always eat a lot of team dinners together with more than 10 guys together. So we're a very close-knit team in our dressing room, and I think it shows on the ice, especially over the last few years.
Very good. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Hi, what's your name?
Eric.
Eric,
How old were you when you played hockey?
5 years old when I started skating.
How old are you?
My mother says 6, but I say I was 5. You're 8? Wow. When did you start skating?
When I was 4.
When you were 4?
You beat.
Wow. Jeez.
See? Take that, Wes Walls.
I guess.
Thanks for stopping by. All right, one last question because we're running out of time.
Hi, my name is Rihanna, and I'd like to know who's the team that you don't like to play the most?
I don't like playing the Edmonton Oilers for some reason. I'm not sure why. We haven't had a lot of success against that team the 4 years that I've been here, the 4 years the Minnesota Wild have been in existence. So the Oilers have always been a thorn in my back. I think we've only beat them once in like 16 or 17 games. So probably the Edmonton Oilers.
Okay, very good. Thanks for stopping by. We're out of time for questions. We'll come back and we'll wrap things up on this episode of Paul the Wild. Wes Walls is here. We're live at La Cucarachas in Woodbury.
It's time now for some Wild trivia. Which Wild player tallied a team record 6 points in one game? The answer is coming up right after this.
Since 1958, the Lookout has been Maple Grove's best tradition for food, fun, and family gatherings. The Lookout Bar and Grill offers banquets, private parties, and casual dining, all in one beautiful location. We're one of the only venues with live music Friday and Saturday nights. You'll never pay a cover charge to see some of the best music groups in the Twin Cities. For band schedules, catering menus, and all the info, check out lookoutbarandgrill.com. Help us celebrate our 45th anniversary the Lookout way. Look out!
Catch Home Furniture's super no-interest financing offer just in time for this year's big game. Choose your new upholstered or leather pieces and pay no interest till 2006. That's 2 whole years. And what prices? This Benchcraft sofa just $5.99, or a chaise sofa and chair set now just $12.99. Leather room groups start at just $19.99, or stretch out in comfort on a recliner or sectional. Great furniture values now at Home Furniture. Ends Wednesday.
The state of hockey salutes the team of 18,000 All-Stars. The renowned Vegel brothers of Ham Lake may look alike, but their cheering styles couldn't be more diverse. Screaming with a reckless abandon is the hallmark of the younger sibling, but the veteran Troy patiently waits to unleash his booming voice. And while sharing a bedroom may not come easy for this band of brothers, sharing in the spoils of victory certainly does.
Tickets are still available for the Wild versus Predators January 12th.
In just their 4th season, the Minnesota Wild have become a force to be reckoned with in the NHL. Under the direction of coach Jacques Lemaire, the Wild have their sights set on the playoffs once again. And you can be a part of that action every Saturday by watching Call of the Wild, 10:30 a.m. on ESPN2 right here on Comcast Cable. Each week, host Dan Turhar bringing Wild interviews, highlights, and features from the state of hockey. So tune in to the Call of the Wild, Saturdays 10:30 a.m. on ESPN2 right here on Comcast Cable.
Marion Gabrick recorded the team record 6 points on October 26, 2002 against the Phoenix Coyotes. Gabrick set the record, 2 goals and 4 assists.
Thank you very much. Welcome back on Call of the Wild. Wes Walls is here. We're live from La Cucarachas in Woodbury. And Wes, you mentioned your daughter, or at least one of your fans mentioned your daughter plays hockey. Tell us about your family a little bit.
Well, my oldest son is almost 11, and he plays for the Woodbury team here, the Squirt Woodbury team. And my daughter just started mite hockey. This is she's 7. This is her first year in hockey, and yeah, it's been pretty interesting, especially with my daughter playing hockey. Growing up in Canada, none of the girls really ever played hockey. It was always just the boys. So I had a little bit of a difficult time with it at the beginning, but since I've been here in Minnesota, I've seen how big women's hockey here is in Minnesota. I have no problem with it at all, and my daughter, she's having a great time, and that's the most important thing. So, and I also have a younger daughter who's 3.5, and she's getting ready to start skating too. So our hands are full.
We had an email that wanted to know if you had a mentor or coach or someone that gave you some really good advice or really put you on the right path towards your NHL career.
Yes. When I was 16 years old playing my first year midget in Canada, I had a coach by the name of Rick Bailey, and he only coached me for the 1 year. And I had known him for 2 or 3 years, but I learned more about how to play the game of hockey that year when I was 16 years old. And I named my son's middle name after Rick's last name, Bailey, and he passed away here probably, I guess it's probably been about 10 years now since he passed away, and he's always in my heart, and I know he's always watching me and yelling at me, and so he gives me a lot of motivation, and so probably when I was 16 years old, I had the coach that influenced me the most.
Wes, stay healthy the rest of the year. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wes Walls, everybody. Number 37 for the Wild. We're live from La Cucarachas in Woodbury. This has been Call of the Wild. Thanks for watching.
Call of the Wild has been brought to you by Denny Hecker's Hudson Pontiac GMC, by La Cucaracha in Woodbury, by the Minnesota Wild, and by Comcast. If you have a comment or question you would like to have answered on the show, you can email us at callofthewild@cable.comcast.com. All guests of Call of the Wild receive a gift certificate from Home Furniture.